Can you hear me better now?
I can. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
So your name is Dakota?
Yes.
Are you North or are you South? Which one are you?
That's good. That's funny. I've never heard that joke before,
Of
but
course you
I would
haven't.
say
So
I would
how
say
many kids do you have?
I have two.
Were you married?
I was.
Okay. Um, and how long are you divorced?
I am.
How long you been divorced?
4 years.
Okay. So what's your question?
My question was I just wondered if it would just be better for me just to simply wait until my daughters were older
Well,
to date
well,
and, just to explore because I have dated. And interestingly enough, the 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 men that I've met, they're usually older,
mm-hmm,
they're stable,
mm-hmm.
they have, some of them have lived at least two lives, and
Mm-hmm.
that's fine because I'm 40, so that's to be
You're
expected.
how old?
I'm 40,
How old is your youngest daughter?
9,
How old is your oldest daughter?
12.
See, here's the issue with.
Yeah. So what I was gonna, are you done
Well, I
talking?
mean, if you met a guy that you were fond of and he was fond of you, where's their father?
Oh, he's in their life. He's
But would he
he
want some? Would you or him be all right with a man in the house of two teenage girls in development?
I haven't had a conversation with him about that
Your
specifically.
ex-husband?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him specifically about that because I haven't
Well, what do you think
gotten,
he would say?
I don't know actually, to be honest. I
Okay,
don't know. He has somewhat of a passive personality.
right. Is he very protective of his daughters?
No. Well, you know what? I don't know yet because I haven't really seen had a situation where where he had to be.
Well,
They're still very
are you guys
young.
co-parenting successfully?
Yeah.
How often do you interact with him?
Um, a couple of times a week. That's how often he gets them.
When's the last time you guys actually, you know,
Probably back in I don't know, 2013, years ago.
there's the last time. That's the last time you had him.
These
That's,
The
nuts.
last time I've slept with him, yes.
that's the last
Got
time.
me.
That's the last time you got these. Really, 2013.
2013,
Seven
14.
seven
Yeah.
years ago was the last time you scratched that itch.
More like probably more like 6. I would say 2014 because that was the end. So
Okay. So, and who have you been seeing since then?
I've just dated, but I think I've been
Okay, ma'am, you're
I think
40. 6 years ago was 34. Woman sexual prime is 35. Come on now.
what's your question again?
Who are you hooking up with?
Who?
Yeah. Because if it wasn't your ex-husband, that's okay. But you haven't had any long-term relationships. You've been
No,
in
because
but in your sexual prime. Look, I, I've had my fair share of experience, and come on, sis. That's all I'm trying to understand is what I'm trying to understand is how close you guys are and how realistic you're willing to be. If you're saying you haven't hooked up with him for 6 years, okay. But you say you see him every couple of weeks.
I see him every few days. That's how often he gets his
Every
kids.
few days. Does he have a wife or
Mhm.
a girlfriend?
No.
All right. So, um, it is. Are you guys still attracted to one another?
I am not attracted to him.
Has he changed physically?
As in how he looks.
Yes.
I mean, he's cut his hair and
Okay.
everything,
Okay. So we
but
keep on moving. We keep on moving. And the net of it is this. A man that involved with his daughters has a comfortable relationship with his ex-wife, and he knows that you have not had a history of being out there on the wild side with
Well,
me.
he knows I date, but
Date
I mean,
date
I
is
don't.
one thing, but nobody staying over.
Oh, no, no, no. I have daughters here. Absolutely
That's
not. Not
what I'm getting. That's what I'm saying. Your ex-husband knows that you aren't gonna have men in the house with his daughters.
no, absolutely not.
But that would change. And that question is, how would he react if he felt like that was going to start happening?
Actually feel some kind of way about
Of
that.
course he would.
You are right.
So this is why I often say to women, um, why did you guys get divorced?
Over money. He doesn't keep a job. So it became very difficult financially. I'm talking foreclosure, bankruptcy, all that type of stuff, you name it. So it was just
Oh,
difficult.
okay. Okay. So he doesn't keep a job. All right. But he's active in his daughter's life, even post divorce.
Yes.
So are you living at your means now?
I'm sorry, say that
Are you
question
living
again.
at your means now?
At my means, as in if I can afford my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you been foreclosed or anything like that post divorce?
no.
Then do you make room for the possibility that maybe you guys are living outside of your means? Because you sound the picture you've painted is of a man who, after divorce, is around every couple of days. That is a hell of a consistent man after a divorce of how many years? 4?
Yes.
Right. And he's over there 3 times a week. 52 weeks out of the year, he's over there almost as much, more than a lot of. Come on, man. You divorced him over money. That's a petty thing to divorce over.
Well, he doesn't work.
Oh,
Am I
okay.
supposed to take
Okay.
care of
Okay.
him and
So,
the
so,
children?
so, so, so you're basically saying the measure of your man is money.
The measure of my man is can he provide for his family?
Well, okay. Now, when you got married, did you tell him you expected him to pay all the bills? Did y'all have that conversation?
I never told him I expected him to pay.
Oh, okay.
I
But
didn't tell him
but
that.
but but he's a good father. Yes or no?
He he's a good father. Yes, he
Okay,
does
well,
what
okay.
he
So
can with his
I gotta
children.
ask you, Miss Dakota, what's more important for your daughters?
You mean
What's
their
more important
relation,
for your daughters? A paycheck or a good father?
them having a roof over their
Oh
head?
no, you got the roof covered.
Oh, so I'm supposed to take care of the children and a grown man.
Oh well, see
Okay.
that. See.
Okay.
Here's the thing. See,
Okay.
okay, no, don't get an
That's
attitude
fair.
with me. Well, what I'm saying is, you're doing it already, and you ain't got no man.
Well, I'm not taking care of a man. I take
And
care of
you gotta
the
no.
children.
See, those vows you took didn't say you can leave because of money issues. See, we got too many of our sisters that treat black men as though, if you ain't paying all the bills. That's why I start putting that question out there, letting black men know. You better understand that black women will never come out and say it, but they expect you to pay everything. And if you don't, they'll leave you. Doesn't matter how good of a man you are, how good of a father you are, they will leave. Now, the funny thing is, you basically painting the picture of a man who has damn good character, but you throw him away because he ain't paying no bills. But the funny thing is, are you working any less hard than you would be if he was there?
Am I working
Are
any
you
less
working
hard?
any? Yeah. If he was there, would you still have to do what you're doing? You still have to go to work.
Yes.
All right.
I,
So
I
him
still
not
have.
being there is not a net gain for you. It's a
Okay.
loss. You don't have a man in the house or any help.
Okay.
Uh, you're a grown woman, right? I mean, let's be honest.
I
You
am.
still are working, paying, but you are saying it like I'm supposed to take care of a grown man. Well, would you rather? So a man is nothing but a check. He's
It's
supposed to
not
pay the
about.
bills, ma'am. It sounds like it or not. I get what you want, but what you got is what you got. You married the man. You got kids. He's a good father, but you prioritize money, so you divorced him over money. And here's the net. Why is all this coming to? Why is it going to come when you talk about dating and people start getting into your history with your ex, and this comes out. When this comes out, the guys who are worth a damn, they're gonna be like, oh, no, 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 no. They're gonna be like, nah, this woman left her husband because of money. So that's cool. Did you gain any weight in the marriage? So,
No.
and that's the thing. And as long as you're cool with being judged that way, because let's say if you were to go off and get married or find somebody, he could. I hope you're all right with being left the same way because of a younger woman gaining weight or whatever. But you haven't said the man's a bad man. But I get it. I'm not telling you to take care of a grown man, but I'm telling you right now, you don't sound like you're doing nothing else. It sounds like you were better off married. Something in your ego wouldn't allow you to take care of no grown man. I feel you.
Mm,
I hear
okay.
you. But
Yeah.
but I gotta ask you, Dakota, were your daughters happier with daddy in the house?
They're always happy. I mean,
No, ma'am. That is a
there hasn't been a change.
disingenuous answer. See, we were doing good until you did that.
What did I do?
I asked you a direct questions. Were your daughters happier with daddy in the house?
Yes.
And you would not give that man credit. You deflected. See, that's so petty. That wasn't about your daughters. That was all about you.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Um, so do you think that in a marriage, so you know how you were getting ready to ask me if I gained weight or, whatever other questions you were going to ask me. Um, I'm just trying to get my words right. So I guess because there's a part of me that does feel like, okay, because when it comes to a woman, a wife, if she gets to changing and she gains weight, or if there's not enough sex and things after the children, if anything in her mood changes after she becomes a mother, if she changes in any way for the worse, and then he makes a choice to step out or leave or not do anything, I mean, is that okay? Because sometimes I feel like if a man changes and he's not on top of his responsibility, I feel like, particularly as a Black woman, that we're supposed to just normalize the dysfunction and just kind of go with it, even if you're in jeopardy of losing your home, or
Is
you
this a question?
you I mean,
No, see what I allowed you to do, ma'am, is I allowed you to talk it all out, and you're starting to have a moral conflict with your own argument.
You think so?
Oh yeah. I'm good at what I
Okay.
do.
Okay.
I'm good at what I do. I let you get it all out because what you're having to say. Well, see, what you couldn't say is none of that happened. You're giving me a hypothetical, and I'm going to ask.
Well,
No, I'll let you.
I didn't
Hold
tell
on,
you that
ma'am.
was
I'll let you
before.
speak for 2 minutes, uninterrupted.
Oh, okay.
None of that happened in your relationship. So
Okay.
hypotheticals don't matter to your individual situation. Let's just put it on the wood.
Okay.
Your ego cannot handle a man who's not paying the bills. That's it. So for
I never
that, you broke
say
your.
all.
No, I'm still going. That's it. It's not about character. It's not about family. It's not about the children's happiness. It's about your ego not being able to accept the fact that this man is under earning. That's it. It's not as though you said this man was a lazy, good for nothing, shiftless dude sitting here playing Madden all day. All women, come back and look at the chat room and see what women are saying. I'm not looking, but I can pretty well guess what the women who watch this platform are saying. Oh my God, sis, basically you have put money, and I'm going to say this: you ain't rich. It's a very petty thing you divorce for. And see, that's what this whole COVID pandemic thing has kind of helped black people realize, that all this shit that so many of our sisters have, people have valued, can be taken like that. And all you got is family. All you got is each other. And what you're looking at is a man that you divorced over money who's still doing what he should be doing. See, if he would have, you divorced him over money and he just said, fuck it, I'm not going to do anything, then you'd have had a case. I divorced him over money and he ain't done nothing for his daughters. Now, no, he's still over here three times a week. He's active as ever.
When you say active, can you define active
I'm defining what you said.
for your no, what do you think active means? Because I never
Active is
heard
you
full
have sole physical
definition.
custody, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
I
he
do.
has every other weekend.
Yeah,
That's what he has. So being over there every other day is outside of his custody arrangement. It's helping you. He that's he only gets every other weekend. But
correct.
he is extremely active according to the law. To you are getting, if you need to do anything, all you gotta do is pick up a phone and say, "Hey, dude, come over here," and he's there like that because he's still in his daughter's lives. Ma'am, this was the. I, I would tell you this: good luck trying to date any man with any character and telling this story. It doesn't sound really good, ma'am. You divorced
Okay.
him over petty money reasons.
You think it's petty?
Yes, I do, because ma'am, your ass is still getting up having to work. All you don't have is a man.
Okay. Well, I would like a man who works, so
Well, good. What would your daughters like?
okay.
What would your daughters like?
They would like a father
No,
who
they would
spends
like their no, they would like no, don't get that's bullshit. See, now you want to go there. That's a little.
that's
They
what I
want their father. They
exactly.
want their father. And they would like their mother not to have divorced their father over petty freaking reasons.
But here's the thing though. Do you think that as they get older that their
No, they're
needs
going to
are
do.
going to
No, what I think is going to happen is they get older, they're going to resent the hell out of you. They're going to resent.
that's
Oh, you
fine.
want to hear? I think they're going to resent the absolute fuck out of you because their
Okay.
father is showing up on Tuesday and Thursday. He's there monthly. He's doing the hard work. See, many women complain of high value men of just being a check and not being there. You got the whole goddamn man even afterwards, and you're too fucking blind to see it. You
Yeah,
took their
right.
father out of the household for a little
Well,
bit
he
of
has the
money,
time.
for a
He doesn't
little
cook.
bit of money, for a little bit of money. You're not
He
rich
should.
for a little bit of money. And you didn't discuss this up front, ma'am. You didn't go into it saying, hey, man, I need you to carry all the bills. You need to pay all this stuff. You did this afterwards. Good
I
for
never.
you.
I
Get the fuck off my phone. I cannot stand women like you.
Second.
Okay, there's a delay. Because when I ask you a question, it's about about 5 seconds before you respond. I'm gonna handle you body count guys in a minute, but you're telling on yourselves, so you really should stop. Okay, you're 32, um, and that means if you're dating men who are older than you, let's say you're dating men 10 years older than you, 7 years older. A lot of guys have 50% of the guys are gonna have kids. Um,
Right.
and you don't, and you're saying how to deal with that.
So basically, how to decide who is a good candidate to have children with if they already have children.
You want to know how to decide who's a good candidate to have children with if they already have children.
Right. Because if they already have children, I'm kind of committed to
Okay, listen,
whatever
listen, listen,
environment they're
listen,
already
listen,
in.
listen, listen. Look at their children.
Okay.
That's the surest indicator. If they already have children and you want to know whether or not they're a good candidate to have children by, right? Look at the work. Look at the kids. If he has quote unquote good kids, especially if he has custody of them, then that means he's doing a good job. Does that not make sense?
It does.
So the question is, I thought your question was more or less along the lines of you're not wanting to date guys with kids.
I don't mind. I would like to date someone who doesn't have children.
Well,
I'm being
unfortunately,
realistic.
unfortunately, are you actively or seriously dating anyone right now?
No.
Do you want to get married?
Yes.
Do you want to have children?
Yes.
All right. Well, unfortunately, you waited so long.
What?
You should have been married 10 years ago. Have you ever been in a serious relationship or been proposed to? Uh oh.
Serious relationship.
He said, "You cleared your throat on that one." Well, what happened? How long? What happened?
I don't mind.
Nobody can see you,
Wasn't ambitious enough for me.
huh?
Wasn't ambitious enough for
He wasn't ambitious enough
me.
for you. Okay. And
Yeah.
how long were you guys together?
About 8 years.
Did you say 8 years?
I was very young.
Girl, you wasn't you what? You 32. What was you 5? I, come, come on, sis. Come on, sis. You say you were with a dude for 8 years, and the reason you didn't marry him is because he wasn't ambitious enough. Then you're gonna follow it up and say you was young. Boo, come on.
After that, I became ambitious, focused on my goals,
Okay.
and stopped dating.
Okay. All right. So,
That's
so,
how we led to here.
so, when you say ambitious, what does that mean?
um, just wanting more out of life, focusing on a better lifestyle,
Does that mean more money?
comfortability.
Com- Comfortable. Does that mean more money?
Yes.
All right. Does this say you just wanted more money? Stop prettying it up. So, did you go to college?
I didn't finish.
All right. So, so what do you do for a living? If he wasn't ambitious enough for you,
Um, I prefer not to disclose that. I work.
well, now you call and ask me the question. So here's the thing. Okay, I'll just go down
You
that path.
asked me
Here's the
only.
thing. Here's the thing. Here's where I go down. See, I find it interesting that
Hmm.
women like that. Unfortunately, there's so many sisters like you that are getting in this position. You're with somebody for 8 years, that all of a sudden he wasn't good enough because a light came, and it almost seems like the way you guys tell the story. All of a sudden, some light came on, and then he wasn't ambitious enough. All right, but see, what I need to hear after that is you're like the VP of marketing. That's what I need to hear. That I was with somebody for 8 years, and we were both just middle income people. Both high school graduates. No one went to college. We put both right there in the middle. Then all of a sudden, I graduated or something. Then I just went from here to there, and he wasn't ambitious enough. But what I tend to find is most women are still kind of right where they were. They're just looking for a man with more money later in life.
I can say that
You start
that
break.
is not my situation. I actually am further than I was.
Well, here's the thing.
I can
Okay.
say that that is not my situation. I am actually further than I was.
All right. Well, here's the thing. Whatever your situation is, I don't know what the big deal is, but here's the net of it. 32 years old. There's a looks component. Um, there's especially if you want to be a. Do you want to work after you have children?
I don't mind working part time. I would like work for my husband's company.
Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills?
No,
Right. So you don't want to have to work. How many children do you want? Would you like to
right.
have? Huh? How many
Two
children?
to three.
2 to 3. 2 to 3 children. So again, we're talking about these men in the $300,000 plus range. That's those men, $300,000 plus range, to have a woman, to have a wife that doesn't work and have 3 children. That's a mad. What percentage of men do you think make $300,000, well, $325,000 or more? Out of 100% of men, what percentage of men do you think fits that?
10%.
Say again, I couldn't hear you.
10%, 20%.
10% or 20%? 10 to 20% of men make $300,000 or more. Um, oh damn, no, ma'am. That those men are in the top 1% of men. 99 out of 100 men don't make that amount of money.
Okay.
This is kind of part of the issue that a lot of women want something that's unrealistic for them. Most men don't make that. So if there were 100 black men, one would make that amount of money. And why would that one pick a woman who's and the guys who make that amount of money, if they're already making it, they're going to pick the youngest, hottest woman they can get. They don't pick women in their 30s. And if they did pick a woman in her 30s, he's going to be in his late 40s or 50s. And she's still got to be smoking hot. The man who makes that kind of money is likely not.
Well,
Hmm? Go ahead.
I'm not a mud duck, and I'm not looking for an extreme amount of income. I'm just looking
Whoa.
to have a
What do you mean when you say you're not looking for an extreme?
relationship
You say you're not
with
looking for an
a
extreme amount of
black
income. You
man.
said you're not looking for an extreme amount of income. You said you want to get married and you
I
love.
said I was looking for a comfortable relationship.
Okay.
You put the number of 300,000. I didn't. I just
Well,
said comfortable.
okay. I put the number there because that's how much it cost. I didn't just pull it out of my butt. I run the numbers. I pulled the numbers,
Okay.
and
Okay.
and what I'm trying to tell you, ma'am, is if you say you think 10 to 20% of men earn $300,000, no offense, but my grasp of the number is probably more in tune with the reality. And if you say you want a comfortable life, cool. How much money to not be able to work and have 3 kids when it takes about $200,000 per child from 0 to 18? You can't do it on $80,000 a year and not have a wife that's not working.
Mm-hmm.
And if you did, you'd be living in a rental home. So when you say you're not looking for an extreme, no, you didn't put you haven't put pen to paper and know what it is you're really saying. That's cool, but you are asking for an extreme amount of money. I just filled in the other parts. I just filled in the other parts. You're 32. I made that video and got a bunch of pushback. When women who are 4s, 5s, and 6s find high earning men, they find them when they're in their college years or at the beginning. So when a guy's already up there, he's looking at 8s, 9s, and 10s. What would you actually, if you had to rank yourself, since you said you're not a mud duck, okay, and you're not, where would you rank yourself?
I'm not really sure. I haven't really done that assessment yet. If I had to rank myself, I would say overall
You
maybe
can't use 7.
because you don't like seven,
Yeah.
right?
What would you give it?
Oh, did you hear me? I said I would give myself an eight because you don't like sevens.
You give yourself an 8. Okay. So that means as an 8,
I'd rather go higher than lower.
okay. So that means you're 5'4", dress size 4, 120 pounds, tight fit. First off, just understand, over 30, even if you were a 10, when you cross 30, you automatically drop 1 point. That means you're a 9.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and are you a tall woman or are you a shorter woman?
5'5".
5'5". And dress size?
A 6.
Dress size 6. And are you in the gym like 5 days a week?
Yes, 6.
Okay, cool. Um, then that would mean likely your body is around an 8. I can't see. Um, but I used the show Good Times, Thelma Hopkins,
Mm-hmm.
as a 7. And I don't use 7s. Pam Grier, that's an 8. So to be an 8, you got to be like in Pam Grier's area.
I don't have the boots.
Huh? Huh? So you give.
I said that's extreme. I don't have the boots.
Well, are you watching me or you watching YouTube? Are you watching me or you watching
Are
YouTube?
looking on Zoom.
Uh, well, I mean, you don't have the you don't have to have the boobs. I mean,
She
see,
has very big boobs.
but she was also classically beautiful. I mean, and it's not uncommon for men to. Here's what it gets right down to. At 32, if you think most guys make that amount of money, you're off base. And it requires a lot of money to have a stay-at-home wife because a man has to. The average middle class American makes $50,000 a year. Okay, so let's just say you and your husband were average. You're making 50, he's making 50, right? In order for you to stay at home, you'd either have to live below your means by half, or your husband would have to, just the math for 2 people. Daycare for an infant, $200 a week. I mean, kids are expensive, and to have 1, 2, 3 and not have to work, that man is going to have to make high, mid six figures or more. And that's in Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Atlanta. Those kind of guys exist, but they are 1 out of 100. And that's not adjusting for looks, uh, height, anything, even marital status. They're exceedingly rare. So if you want to have a comfortable life, you're going to either have to work, have fewer kids, or really, really lower your standard of living, if that's what it is. And that's what I don't think a lot of women kind of take into consideration. And why are we here? Because you said you had an 8-year relationship and it's over because the guy wasn't ambitious enough. So that means he wasn't making enough money. All right. That means.
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
So what if I'm willing to work with an individual and actually I like to play the long term game.
Uh-huh.
So it's more so about putting the work to lead to that lifestyle. It doesn't have to be
You're
today. I'm
you're
not looking
you're
to
kind of
hop
breaking
into
up. So
a
slow. What I need you.
$300,000 a
Hold on.
year
Hold on.
relationship with a man.
I need you to repeat that. You
Oh,
were
sorry.
breaking up, and you're because on your headphones. Say it again. You're willing to work with somebody. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I said I was willing to work with someone. I'm not looking to go into a $300,000 a year. I would like to, but I'm not. I'm being realistic and not looking to walk into a $300,000 a year relationship with a man, given my age and other things, and mostly my age. But if I'm more interested in the long term game, if we lead to that or we get to that, we live a comfortable life, we actually grow and build, we can get to that lifestyle.
Well, that means you're gonna have to work. 32 years old. First off, 30. Let me
To
just
be
say,
honest with you, I guess because of the ambition.
I'm just being honest with you, man. Most 32-year-old women aren't gonna not work. You're gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
You can say whatever you want. Most 32-year-old women are going to have to work. You did not get married early when you were young, fertile, and at your highest. You're past the wall. That's just the reality. You can say whatever you want. You can have your standards. You can think what you want to about you, but you're average. You're average looking, and that's not an insult. You're average looking. You're not bad, but you're not uh, Pam Grier, and you're over 30.
Of course not.
Huh?
Right.
The
Understood.
more likely reality is you. I don't know how much money you make, but you didn't go to college. I don't know how much money you make, but the more likely reality is, I've said a woman can pretty much expect to get a man $10,000 times her for every point on the look scale. If you're a 6, you can expect a man making about $60,000 a year in Dallas, Houston, Austin. That means you'll be working. Most women have to work.
The thing is, I don't mind working as long as it's not physical work.
But it's still okay. I asked. Okay, that's cool. But it's still gonna be 40 hours a week. Ain't gonna be no part time nothing.
It has to be 40.
Because you're gonna need 2 incomes. You're gonna have okay, ma'am. You're gonna have to at your age. Why would a man who is making that much money marry a 32-year-old woman who's got 3 years before you start having high risk pregnancy? You still got to meet him, go down the aisle. If you met him today, as soon as you be married is 6 months from now. And unless you got pregnant on the wedding night, you want at least a little time, 3 to 6 months before a baby came out. You'd be 33 and a half. And if you had a child every year, the first one, the second one, the third one will be high risk. See, what you're showing, ma'am, is a lot of women like you have this idealistic attitude, but you don't put hardcore numbers or reality to it. One, your age is a hindrance for that. Two, and let guys who make that kind of money, I mean, let's just say six figures. I mean, realistically, do you want your husband to be making $100,000 or more from day one?
More,
Right.
but
And
realistically,
all right, ma'am, and that's 10% of the men.
right.
Have you ever dated a man making that kind of money?
However,
Have you ever dated a man making that kind of money?
yes,
Okay. Let me back it up. Have you ever seriously had a serious relationship with a man making that kind of money?
no,
Huh?
no.
Okay. So date, that just mean y'all.
Dating for several months.
Okay. And why did it end?
To be honest with you, I think I'm too picky. I used to have the perfect dynamic ideal.
Why the why are you so picky?
Oh,
What I mean, seriously, what's so special
because
about
I'm
you to
not
be
lazy.
what's so special about you to make you so picky? Are you that fine? Are you that I mean, to be that picky? I mean,
I'm not lazy.
so what? Neither is a mule. So what, ma'am? You work. Do you have an advanced degree? I mean, you didn't go to college. You go to the gym.
Is that all that matters? Is it
What matters, ma'am? If you're average, you're average, ma'am. You're
which
average,
is fine.
and that means average people get average people. And just like Rebecca Lynn Pope, the black woman who's married to a pastor who was a matchmaker for black women, said she stopped working with women like you because you were so unrealistic. You can be picky, ma'am. See, that's the thing. I can't tell you not to be picky. I can just tell you
I
you're.
said I used to be picky. I am
Oh
not
well,
currently
but
picky.
you're
I
still
used to be
okay. You're
picky.
still picky, wanting a man making $100,000 a year at 32 years old. That's
Hmm.
still picky. You didn't even know that two or 300,000. I mean, $300,000 a year was a 1% man. You thought that's 10 or 20%. That shows that you have no
So
idea,
what price range should I be focusing on?
ma'am. What I'm trying to say to you in the nicest way possible is you didn't want to tell me how much you make or what you do. All I know is you're 32 and you graduated from high school. All I know is you said you were with
Hmm.
a guy for 8 years and you're not together because he wasn't ambitious enough. But you did not tell me that you are some high end corporate exec somewhere at 32. So I don't know what ambitious
Corporate
means.
exec? No.
Okay. Do successful if successful men, high earning men don't approach you for serious relationship, that should tell you something.
Okay.
That should tell you something. If the men that have the means you would like do not approach you for serious relationship, what does that tell you?
I'm gonna say I'm trying not to get roasted on here.
I know
So
I'm
I'm
not
not
I'm
saying
not
that they
going to
don't
roast you.
approach
I'm
me,
I'm actually
right?
trying to help
I'm
you.
saying that I was the problem.
No,
No,
oh,
I
what
appreciate your
what
help. I really do. I'm just saying that I was the problem.
what I think the problem is with so many black women like yourself is you're too picky for what you are. That is as simple as I can put it.
Correct.
You can't be that picky when you're like a 5. You have to be an 8, 9 to be
I'm
picky.
thinking of my phone.
Yes, ma'am, you
Yeah.
are. You're not a classic
Okay.
beauty. You're not an unattractive woman, but I don't think you could tell me that you have. Okay. Um, have men told you, have the high value men in your life, high school or whatever, did they tell you that you were like the pretty girl in school?
I was the shy, quiet girl in
That's not what I
school,
asked you, ma'am.
so I wasn't
The shy, quiet girl, if she
really
was
noticed at the
fine,
time.
the shy, quiet girl, if she was fine, she still got attention.
Mm. In high school, no.
Well, and because you did not go to college. What region of the country do you live in? North, east,
Hmm.
south, west?
Yes.
East? Okay.
Hmm.
In the east, do you get approached by high value white men?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
You do. Do you get approached by high no for serious relationship, meaning marriage, those kind of things?
When you have to date to lead to marriage, I kind of, sabotage it before then.
Okay. Well, and therein lies a lot of the uh distortion in women. See, men who want to marry quickly. High value men will kick it with a woman who is a average looking woman, but they won't wife them. They know this. And this is what I'm trying to understand, ma'am, is you can have whatever standard you want, but if your life is not showing you that you're getting that. Okay, imagine, do you own a car?
Yes,
You do?
I do.
Okay. All right. Imagine there's a car on the lot and the dealer said it's the
Hmm.
best car, whatever, and they want $100,000 for it. But cars like that car, that same model, that same make, everywhere else around the nation and in that neighborhood are selling for $50,000. Does it matter how much the dealer says how incredible this car is? Is the average person that has the money to buy that and in the market for that vehicle going to go buy the $100,000, or is he going to go buy the car that's priced like everything else is in the market?
Everything else.
Right. If you were a car, you are asking too much for the market. No one can tell you to lower your price, but no one's coming to buy you.
Hmm.
So,
Just to
um,
clarify, this is just based on my age, correct?
no, it's not just based on your age. It's also based on uh,
Age and my look that you gave
what I can kind of
and
gather
my
from your
price.
SMV, and then your age, and then and then I just say what you're wanting. See, I think a lot of women need to understand to want to be a stay-at-home wife, you need to have got that early. I'm going to be honest. Most of the guys who are my clients who make that kind of money, here's what they say. I'm just going to be brutally frank. Why in the hell would I pick some woman over 30 who's been out here working and proving that she's going to has already got work on her, and then I'm going to set her down somewhere? No, I'm going to go get me one fresh off the tree who I can train up. I'm not going to go back and forth to do all this stuff. You've already been out here, man.
Okay.
And most guys who have those kind of means, they'll date you, they'll say nice things to you, they'll have relations with you, but as far as getting serious with you, like wifing you, and directly approaching you, if a man is in the market for a wife, that means you're in the market, and so are all the other women. So
Hmm.
the net of it is, if I were giving you advice off the rip, I would tell you, you I'm going to say it. You need to lower your standard. lower your not your standard. You need to lower your list.
Mm, I've heard that before.
Well, but from
I've
who?
heard that before.
From who?
But my original question was about men with children.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's how we got here. But who'd you hear that from?
What do you mean?
Who'd you hear that you need to lower your list?
What?
You said you've
Some
you said you've heard you need to lower your
men.
standard. Who'd you hear it from?
Some men.
Friends? There's a delay, ma'am. That's
Some men.
from men. Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes. There's a delay. I've been telling you since minute one. Okay, the men are
I'm
telling
trying
you,
to keep up.
huh? All
I'm
right.
trying to keep up.
Well, here's the thing. I've tried to say it in the nicest ways possible. But if men have told you you need to lower your standards, I guess I don't know
Hmm.
if you think they're just trying to get you to do that to their benefit. I'm telling you, I don't know you, but I would say um, what I've heard and what I've seen, you're very much outside of what you're going to get on the open market. Now, you could win the lottery, but it's not very likely. What's likely is you're a high school grad who has some sort of job that you didn't want to disclose. You're 32. You're going, if you find someone, you're going to end up having to work a full-time job, just like he, whatever y'all work out, you're going to have that 12 weeks off, that FMLA leave, and you're going to be right back out there with them, just like everybody else in the world. And it's good enough for everybody else. And if that's not what you want, I hear you, but um, that's what's far more likely than running up on a guy who's making, especially on the East Coast. You gotta take that number. Like if you're in Philadelphia, New York City area, you got to take that $300,000 number up and jump it up to around 700 some odd $1,000.
Okay.
Those men are in one half of the 1%. And see here, and I would say this, I gotta run. This is where so many black women end up dying alone, overvaluing.
Oh my.
Yes, dying alone. You're 32. You got 3 more years before you become high risk pregnancy. Did you watch Rebecca Lynn Pope's video, the one she talked about, why she's no longer a matchmaker?
I did watch her video, yes.
Okay,
Hmm.
you're one of the women she talked about, and this is why so many black women like yourself end up dying alone, because you have this impossible
No, I
stand.
used to be. I'm not currently.
Ma'am, even
I'm
what you
not that.
even what you're saying right now is
You might
ridiculous.
think it's a superpower.
Even what you're saying right now is unrealistic. If
Oh,
it was higher, then that just means you were in the stratosphere crazy. What you're saying right now is still unrealistic. So that tells me
okay.
something. You've come down. You still need to you need to keep on coming down to being average.
Okay.
The way you look, the way you earn, everything else. Just keep on coming down there. Because see, white women,
Okay.
Hispanic women, Asian women, Middle Eastern women, they don't walk around overvaluing themselves to the rate black women do. But then they don't also run around talking about all the single ladies. I'm INDP, whatever. I'm strong, independent. I don't need no man. See, they don't feed that into their culture. Their women are taught that you need a man. A man marrying will help you. Two incomes is better than one. And yes, it's better to have a blue collar man who's making good living to go along with your white collar lifestyle versus you being by yourself with this impossible list. Because, ma'am, you got 3 more years before you become 35. From 35 on, it falls off the cliff. If you make it to 40, it's pretty much a wrap, especially on the East Coast. So I hope this was beneficial. But as far as a man with kids, for the things you're talking about, you want, you'd be lucky to find a man with kids who would, a higher earning man with kids who would deal with you. That's just straight up.
Okay. That's good enough. Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
All right. But
Hey everyone, it's your girl Responding News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our videos. And here in these videos, we talk about marriage, divorce, feminism, how to navigate yourself around men and women and how to handle your relationship issues and everything. So before we proceed, let's give respect to the fallen legend Papa Kevin Samuel for his good work, and may his name stay forever and may his legacy stay forever, because he was a very intelligent person and a good father. Here we talk about the black society, the black men and black women, and how they behave. First of all, I would say it's a 5/10 according to their communication skills, because what I've realized, a lot of them, they don't want to listen even when they are trying to advise them on what they're asking. So a lot of them try to be wiser than the person they called in for the advice. So here we are looking at these two ladies, but there is this lady, she's 30 and above. So here it goes. Mr. Kevin Stolz said if you're 30, that's already at one drop down, 1 point down. So you have to make sure in your early 20s you're well off and you're setting up yourself in one way or the other. And in all circumstances of life, you need to work upon quickly. A lot of ladies come in when they are single mothers and they are being told, no man is going to come in for you because you already have that something you have to explain. But I've tried to do more research about this. A lot of ladies come in the show just to lie about themselves, but afterwards, when they are told the truth, that's where you see them being smoked and fired around because they think they don't want to be told the truth. So I think if you're there and you have a youth, you want to advise about anything, you can refer them to these videos. I think they have helpful work and they can help them how to navigate themselves in one way or the other. Bye bye. May God bless you and stay tuned. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and to follow for more details.